Hey lovelies! Welcome to week 2 of online learning. First things first, you should be receiving a feedback email from me sometime today. We're going to be using feedback emails instead of grades to kind of gauge the skills that you still need help with and the things that you've mastered. For this week's module, you are going to have one small assignment and one discussion post. To complete that assignment, you are first going to read the poem Faster by Margaret Atwood. This poem is an excerpt out of her short collection of text called The Tent. And yes, Margaret Atwood is the same lady who wrote Handmaid's Tale. I will read this short poem to you at the end of the video. Once you've read that poem, you're going to complete a DJ. Yes, we are going back to DJs for a couple of reasons. Mostly because it's really hard for me to grade annotations right now. You're going to get a DJ that looks exactly like this. At the top, it says Dialectical Journal for Faster by Margaret Atwood, which will be the poem you're reading today. You have, of course, your essential question at the top. On the left side, you're going to be asked to put in 3 quotes with a citation. And on the right side, you are going to have to comment on how this quote answers your essential question. Your essential question for this dialectical journal is what is a natural response to human-made universal crises? So let's unpack that a little bit. We've spent the whole school year reading texts and discussing human nature, which is how human beings naturally respond to fear or stress or crisis. This question is asking you what some of those natural responses are as evidenced by this text. This is kind of a really perfect essential question for right now because we are experiencing a crisis and people are reacting differently than they would in their normal everyday lives without any fear. You only have to include 3 quotes for your DJ and 3 pieces of commentary. Please note that that commentary does have to be 3 to 5 sentences long. Something else that's really important to note is when you cite a poem, you have the author's last name, which in our case would be Atwood, and then you have the line number for the poem. Something that's really important is that you should be doing analysis or synthesis on this poem. Remember, analysis focuses on the how of the text. It connects the text to an abstract concept. Remember, abstract concepts are things that we all experience, but not physically. Some examples of abstract concepts include love, hate, envy, fear, and so on. Analysis can also connect the text to a literary device. These are devices that writers use to convey their message and include things like simile, metaphor, imagery, foreshadowing, etc. Synthesis is a step above analysis, and it focuses on the why of the text. It connects the text to issues in our current society or connects the text to common human behavior to highlight some issues that we may struggle with. Once again, analysis asks how the author is communicating their message to the reader. And synthesis asks why the author is communicating their message to the reader. What do they want the reader to do with that information? Please remember not to just do basic comprehension. Don't tell me what is happening in the poem. Tell me how it's happening, why the author wants you to see it that way. Once you've completed that assignment, you're going to move on to your discussion for this week. To complete your discussion, you're going to go to Padlet. When you go to the Padlet board, you may notice that it looks a little odd because there are 3 columns. When you make your original post, please post under my name. But when you do your 2 responses, you can respond to any other post on the board. So you can respond to students in Dutro and Carter's class, or you can respond to students in Tonioli's class, or you can respond to students in your own class, whatever works for you. For your discussion, you are going to be posting the line from Faster that you found to be the most impactful to you and explaining why. Make sure that you properly quote and cite your answer. Once that's done, respond to at least 2 other students' posts. Remember that everything that you post and comment on these discussion boards needs to be really strong. Pretend that we're having a Socratic seminar. Don't say very simple things like, yes, I agree, or no, I disagree. Make sure you're explaining your answers and giving thoughtful responses. If you would like to have the poem read to you and follow along on your PDF, I'm going to do that now. If not, I won't be hurt. Faster. Walking was not fast enough, so we ran. Running was not fast enough, so we galloped. Galloping was not fast enough, so we sailed. Sailing was not fast enough, so we rolled merrily along on long metal tracks. Long metal tracks were not fast enough, so we drove. Driving was not fast enough, so we flew. Flying isn't fast enough, not fast enough for us. We want to get there faster. Get where? Wherever we are not. But a human soul can only go as fast as a man can walk, they used to say. In that case, where are all the souls? Left behind. They wander here and there slowly, dim lights flickering in the marshes at night, looking for us. But they're not nearly fast enough. Not for us. We're way ahead of them. They'll never catch up. That's why we can go so fast. Our souls don't weigh us down. Please see Google Classroom for all of your assignments. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.